This segment of Quality Digest's Virtual Test and Measurement Expo is sponsored by the Coordinate Metrology Society. CMS members play key roles in delivering value to manufacturers every day.
Well, you know, the Coordinate Metrology Society, the CMS, is really one of our great partners, and they've made training and certification one of their, I think I can say, this is the major undertaking that they've done maybe for over the last decade.
Sure.
I mean, I was going to say the last few years, but it's really now
Oh yeah,
back
they've been,
into the early part of the 2010s. And it's been really a major effort. It's been very, very productive because they have now several different pieces of equipment that they're able to certify people to. It's a really very robust program. And Randy Groover, who is an employment development specialist at Boeing, has also been really a founding father and the chair of the CMS certification subcommittee. And he's without question one of the leading authorities anywhere you can find on not only how to impart metrology knowledge to people, but really engineering, scientific knowledge. He's expert at sharing knowledge and getting people trained up. He's really great at that. So we're going to show you an interview now that we shot with Randy at a CMSE 2018 in Reno. And at that show, I chatted with Randy about the origins of the CMS certification program and where it's headed in the future. So let's take a look at that video now. And hey, we're here with Randy Groover of Boeing, as well as the Coordinate Metrology Society Certification Chair. How are you doing, Randy?
Terrific, Mike.
Great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. So a lot going on with certification, as always, but especially this year, because we have a lot of different things that are kind of evolving and changing and going forward, which is really exciting. Let me ask you first about the 3D scanning assessment and the 3D scanning community. So there's a level 2 pilot assessment going on this year at the show. Is that correct?
Correct. For the 3D scanners. Yeah, in addition to, well, it's the hands-on piece that complements the level 1, which is the general knowledge. So we went after a portfolio of hardware devices, laser trackers, portable arms. Scanner was next up. So that is being piloted this year, so that we can test the test, which is what a pilot is.
Yeah, and I should clarify with the viewers out there, I mean, because there's a couple of things that are going on here. There's a level 1, which is a cognitive test of these various pieces of equipment and the knowledge that people have. And then there's the level 2, which is the hands-on test as well.
Correct, yeah, the level 1 is general knowledge. We have the CMM, and I think we'll talk about that in a minute, but our initial certification 5 years now on was portable 3D metrology. So it wasn't specific to a device, but the foundational knowledge that's common between multiple of devices. And then we've grown that this year for the CMM community, which is really quite a leap for us as an organization. So we're embracing a very large community of CMM users who were some of the original drivers for certification that became our portable metrology certification. So we've circled back on that community now that we have developed our certification portfolio for the portable devices, and we're focusing our energy now on the fixed or traditional CMMs and supporting that community.
Right, because that's a clear distinction, because for a while you've had the portable coordinate metrology measuring machines, the articulated arms, and now you're having these fixed traditional CMMs that are available now. That's again, that's the cognitive level 1 pilot that's launching at this show.
Absolutely, the level 1 pilot. It's a derivative of our portable 3D. We gathered a group of CMM experts together on the East Coast this last year. Went through a workshop and detailed out all of the differences in the assessment that would be relevant for CMM operators versus the portable group. So it's a derivative of our original assessment, maybe 50% modified for the CMM community.
And there's not really that much of a difference, right? I mean, between portable and fixed, I mean, a lot of the core knowledge really isn't that different.
Right, the core fundamental knowledge is different when you get into the devices. Now there's a difference. The CMMs are very much machines with a machine interface, where the portable devices are, well, portable devices with a laptop, and you're running them with varieties of softwares. So probably the portable is the big difference. The CMMs are not portable, but huge community of CMM users probably far greater than the portable community.
So bring us up to speed on where the entire universe of this is in terms of what are the level 1 assessments that are now have been piloted and are out there, and what are the level 2s that have been piloted that are out there. Give us the quick rundown of the type of equipment that's involved here.
Well, the laser tracker, the portable arms, the scanners. Now scanning technology is more than, it's wide-ranging. So there's handheld scanners, there's terrestrial scanners. What we focused in on, again, through workshops and feedback from the user community was the scanners mounted on an arm, as probably having the largest audience. So we developed our assessment for scanners based on the scanner attached to an arm. Mm-hmm. The fixed CMM, level 1 we just spoke of, a level 2 or a hands-on is on the road right now to development, where they would program an inspection into an artifact or a CMM, measure an artifact, demonstrate proficiency with the device following that level 1 general foundational knowledge assessment.
Now, it's hard for me to believe. I'm sure it's hard for you to believe too. 5 years, you mentioned it's been 5 years since this program got off the ground, and now people are recertifying. The initial wave of people are recertifying. So what's going on with those folks?
First group of folks up for recertification, which is pretty exciting for us. The recertification, requirements include, 75 personal development hours, so PDHs. And we list all the different ways you can earn PDHs using the devices, attending conferences, training, writing white papers, holding office in CMSC or another organization. All these ways you can accrue PDHs towards your recertification, as well as continuing to use the devices in your daily work. Cumulatively, 75 is pretty achievable, and that is all that's required to recert, is just continuing to invest in the community and the technologies.
I mean, you were really a primary mover of this initiative for the Coordinate Metrology Society more than 5 years ago, when it first was really thought about and begun to be staked out. So has it met your desires? Has it been what you thought it would be so far?
I think I set a pretty high bar. So I always want things to be better and just effortless and efficient. So I think we'll just continue to revisit the assessments, keep them current, make sure that they're aligned with the business needs of the community that uses them, and meets the expectations of the employers that look to these certifications to to demonstrate that folks that are looking for work and working in the fields have the credentials to be successful.
And you have a pretty full complement now. I mean, really, you've with the fixed traditional CMMs, you really have a pretty complete market now, pretty full complement of offerings. Again, both level 1 and level 2 that you can present to the user group.
Yeah, we do, and probably we may have a couple of other devices we can look at as well. So we're always open as technology changes, and technologies evolve. I think there may be opportunity to either grow some of our certifications or add to it as we need to. But again, with that mindset of, what do the user community, what do they need? How does it align to business and performance results using the equipment in the field? That's what we're about. Growing the community and supporting business.
And lastly, what can people who might be interested there out in our audience, what can they do if they want to find out more information about this program, if they want to apply to sit for one of the proctored exams for level 1? What would be their next step?
Next step is cmsc.org and click in that certification field. And there's a handbook, a link to a PDF handbook. It details very clearly all of the steps and requirements to apply for certification.
That's great. Well, Randy Griver, a really great initiative. The CMSC always brings a lot to the table for its users, the Coordinate Metrology Society, and this is a really great initiative you guys have worked on here for more than 5 years now. It's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, it's actually 9 years since the concept and the request came to us. So it's been almost a decade now of effort.
Great stuff. Well, thanks, Randy. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you down the road.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
You know, as we were watching that, I was just thinking, we've been working with the CMSC for, I think, something like 14 or 15 years.
I think you went to a show in San Jose, which is not too far from us. So
Right.
you walked a show in San Jose, I want to say it was 2004. Might have
Okay.
been 2003. So at least 14, 15 years.
Well, and here's how we got, I mean, I'm only bringing this up because CMSC is really a unique show, and here's kind of how this came about, our relationship with, I'll just say this really quick, is they've been bugging me, you know, anybody who works in business, the business media, you're constantly getting, hey, come visit our show, come visit our show. It's a relatively small show by industry standards, right, by manufacturing industry standards.
It's not
small
IMTS.
Show. It's not IMTS. And it was never close, so I went, no. So one year it was in San Jose, which was really like a 3-hour drive. I said, okay, fine. They invited me. I would go down there, and I was immediately struck that this is just not your average show. I mean, number one, it's an extremely collegial, friendly atmosphere. I mean, even though you have competitors side by side in their booths, you don't have this kind of, you got to buy our product, you can't buy their product. You don't have this kind of this competitiveness, and a lot of that is because of I think the white papers and the presentations there, which very often in the real world, a solution isn't always one piece of equipment. Yeah. Sometimes in order to solve a problem, you use a laser tracker for part of it, and you use a white light scanner for another. And so you'll have
somebody else's software.
And somebody else's software. So you'll have these presentations that say, well, we used this guy's tracker, we use these people's software, and we use this structured light scanner in order to solve this problem. And because of that, it kind of strips away kind of this artifice that there's only one solution from your problem, and it's this company, right? And I think because of that, it really levels the field, and you feel that when you go to the show, that you're here just to get a problem solved. You're not here, obviously these companies want you to buy their equipment, obviously, but you as a user or an attendee, you really get this feel that you're there to find out how to do large volume 3D metrology, and what are the solutions, and how do all these parts work together from different vendors perhaps in order to find a solution for you. And it really comes across when you go there. You really sense it when you're there. It's not like any trade show. If you've never been, it's not like any trade show you've ever been to.
And I can speak from this experience where they present a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen sometimes white papers at each event. I think it was almost 30 last time in Reno. I've edited like 200 of these white papers now over the course of time for articles that run in the Journal of the CMSC or CMS World, our newsletter that we do on behalf of the group. And I mean, it's an incredible amount of information. If you are in this space, you're going to learn so much. So CMSC is a really good organization to check out. CMSC.org is their website. They got a show coming up in Orlando in 2019.
And I should say that one of the people that we work with a lot of the people at CMSC, but kind of
all
our main
volunteers.
All volunteers.
They're all volunteers.
Our main point of contact that we should point out is Belinda, and we don't talk about her much because she's just kind of our funnel to and from CMS in a lot of ways. But Belinda Jones of High Tech Marketing has really helped out a lot in terms of just making sure that things flow smoothly between what we're doing and what the CMS needs, and kind of that synergy that we need in order to work together in order to get their message out there to the audience.
Yeah, they have over a dozen people on their executive committee. She's
all
not technically one. They're all volunteers, but I mean, Belinda's a big help with all the things we do there. So thanks to her, as well as everybody who works for the CMS,
That's right.
the Coordinate Metrology Society.